bringing us in. Everybody has the right name. Let me fix my frame really quick. My frame has got a little bit of a line in it. This is the live parts, folks. Okay, that looks better. All right. Let's do this. Welcome, everybody, to episode 36 of the Link Cable Gaming Podcast. Woo. I'm Kevin, joined by Alex and Zahi. Welcome, guys.
Hello, Kevin.
Welcome to episode 36. We've made it here. I don't know if it's not really a big deal. Just one more than 35. Try to make
1,000 episodes. We'll be at 1,000 episodes. It'll be a much bigger number.
God, 1,000. That makes me feel like. Wonder what year it would be at 1,000, or even like 100.
And if that'd be like 4 years almost.
Well, we do a weekly show. There's 52 weeks a year. So it'd be about 20 years.
Wow. Do we get like special certificates?
The math was off there.
I don't know. Yeah. So
I really hope that.
Anyways, after this awkward 1 year.
This is a non sequitur. Please start the show.
I know. Sorry, guys. We're all caught off guard because we're talking about payment transfers between the U.S. and Canada and within the own countries before this podcast started, and
they don't work. They don't
talked about as the only United States of America representative here. They start talking about this thing called e-transfers. And I was like, what's that? Is it just like a generic term? And they're telling me that it's a thing that they use in Canada to just transfer money. And I was like, well, do you guys use Venmo? And they're like, I think I've heard of that. And now we've been just...
We don't use it here.
I just don't know what
e-transfer. Easiest thing.
E-transfer just sounds
your
like...
bank account.
It's just... So your email address is just tied to your bank account?
Yeah. And it's like your main email. It's secure.
You just you basically email money to someone else.
What do you mean by your main email? So everyone just has one email?
You have it tied
one that you link to your bank.
That seems so weird to me. So what if could someone hack you easily?
Sure, why not?
I don't know.
There's only 36 million of us. What are the odds?
I guess.
What are the odds you'll get one?
Oh, jeez. Okay, anyways, back to video games, what we're really here for. You guys can fast forward through that if you're listening not live. We got a somewhat exciting show. I think I don't want to temper expectations because the last few shows had some pretty big videos we went through the Nintendo Pokemon event and the State of Play from Sony. And then this week we're closing an old
been a bit of a lull.
It's not anything too exciting. But thankfully, we're exciting, so you should stick around just for us. Okay, what we usually do, talk about the virtual room. We go around and see what everyone's been playing this week. And Zahi, I pick you to go first. What have you done since last Sunday?
So
fill us in great detail.
Actually, beautiful detail. Actually, that's the thing. I played the Outriders demo, which is something we're going to be talking about later on today.
Okay.
So I don't want to start discussing everything I wanted to talk about here. So I may actually just have to save it for the Outriders demo discussion.
Okay, that's fair. Anything else?
This week was what? Actually, I am just about to clear Demon Souls right now, like near quite the ending, and that has been a fantastic just game overall.
Oh, that's rough.
I wish you will play it one day.
Maybe.
Plug your review that you put up on Cable Gaming. That was a little bit of a controversial one. I'm not gonna lie.
We're losing you.
We have two content managers at Link Cable to kind of look at the what people are putting up and things like that, and just kind of make sure that you're not saying lies, basically. And it never really comes up, but we do check these things. Zai, what score did you give this game?
9.9.
9.9 out of 10. Me and Jacob, we sat there and we were like, is it a 9? Does it match our other? It doesn't make our other review scores, basically. And we were like, because we've given 9.9s before. We've given 3. We've given 3 9.9s before to Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, which got a 9.9. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild got a 9.9. and God of War 2018 got a 9.9.
I can agree with that one.
So we were sitting there, we were like, those are really good games. Does Demon Souls 2020 belong in that company? And yeah, you convinced us that it does. So congratulations, you were the fourth highest score we've ever given. The fourth of the highest score we've ever given to a game.
It was actually like I played other FromSoft games, and I would say on a more fundamental level, I think probably Dark Souls 3, followed barely by by Bloodborne would be like better games. But Demon Souls is highly just not remembered well because of its obscurity from like Dark Souls being so popular following it. But mechanically, it was a beautiful game, and just the remake itself had blown that up to phenomenal degrees. It being a launch title for the PlayStation 5 to just show its like technical qualities, its integration with like PS5 features and systems, it's enormously better than the original. Not saying that the original is, for any lack of a word, bad. Just the enhancements Bluepoint has made. It's almost. I went back to play Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, the two most recent titles, and it's night and day, just the atmosphere and the feeling and the mechanics and what you're able to do. Well, sure, Demon Souls was kind of like old in terms of like its gameplay. Some of the AI is not nearly as refined as later titles, but it was a fantastic remake, start to finish. And even the music, which is probably like the biggest, most dramatic difference, just because in the original Demon Souls, it was a lot somber and dark and more like tuned back. This time it's kind of been more like operatic and brought up to be like very demonic, where the other ones were so like lesser demonic and just different kind of pacing. Both games kind of make their own standpoint on the franchise. It's amazing.
I know you don't have a PS5. I think I'm the only one on this call that doesn't. At this point, I'm looking. They're just not easy to find. But like I'm pretty sure once I find one in the next few months, that is the one and only game I want to play right now on it.
One of the things that sucks about
It's
it
incredible.
is the high price point. Like that $70 price point is
I
tough
agree.
to swallow. Like
I agree.
If every game did it, I think it would be a little easier to swallow because I can accept that. But not every PS5 game is coming out at the I mean, in the US it's $70. It's probably what, 80 for you guys or 75 US or
79.
79.
79.99.
Yeah, so it's $70 US, which is $10 more than what it usually is. Almost every game is $59.99. That's our normal price.
Right.
But it's kind of,
I think that
it's kind of crazy that
it is.
they're asking that much for it.
Even though it is a remake of an almost 11-year-old game.
Well, what's crazy is it's still gonna, I'm sure it'll hold the value a little bit more because it is a more popular game, but it's crazy to think that, they're gonna ask more money up front, but a lot of these games are gonna end up being free or pushed to PS Plus or something eventually. So, at $60, a lot of people tend to wait now because it's like they know these games are gonna get discounted pretty quickly. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Phoenix Rising, they're both in the US about $30 right now. You can find them, and they have not been out that long. Like the Xbox Series X version
that's something with
for Valhalla is $35 already. It's like half off, and it's like what's
I think that's part of it, man. Is like exclusivity of owning something before everyone has that higher value price point.
I guess,
yeah,
but
sure,
what's the point
probably
of,
later
why do
on
they
it's
drop
gonna
it?
go down.
Why do they drop it so fast? I mean, that game came out November or September, not that long ago, and we've already cut the price in half. So what's the reason for people to want to pay so much right away?
Because Ubisoft games have always done this. They always drop in price pretty fast, and this has been the case really since they moved to their kind of really on like. I think Ubisoft is more interested in player count versus like total sales of the game. They're more interested in like how many concurrent active users do we have. All these games have season passes and just these kind of
I guess that's true. That's tough because I know like Hitman's the same way.
It kind of works with their model.
I'm seeing Hitman also. I ended up getting Hitman 3 it was on sale for I think $35 as well. It's another game, and I guess they do have a lot of extra content you can purchase. So I guess they're just trying to get it out there. But I guess my point is, this game is $70 right now here in US, and I know it's going to drop to at least $25 because I know the other games have gone that low. or they're gonna put out, it'll drop in price. They add DLC or something, who knows? And there's like a definitive edition of it again.
They won't.
Something.
Demon Souls. They're not planning any kind of DLC.
Yeah, they say that, but in 5-6
least...
years, all of a sudden we have new technology. There's, let's say, PS5 Pro. Well, now you got to buy the definitive edition of this game or something. I mean, they did the same thing with the first Demon Souls. I mean, they remade the game years later.
The first
Dark Souls.
Yeah, but the original Demon Souls didn't have like any DLC.
No, I don't even mean DLC.
Had a single DLC drop.
Like updated. It was Demon Souls, yeah. So they re-released the original Demon Souls and charged you for it instead of just giving you a free update of the game you already owned. So but
it's PS3 era. It's totally revamped. It's almost a
but I'm playing
brand new
Red
experience.
Dead Redemption 1 on my Xbox Series X in 4K and upres, and it looks amazing. And that game was an old gen game too.
But you're not including the fact that it's working with PS5, like the controller, with the UI, with everything. It's a more integrated game.
It seems like a cash grab. It just seems some companies are able to do the right thing and not charge you, and other companies charge you. In this case,
it's not just a straight visual update. Like
this game. I'm not talking about this game. I'm talking 5 years, 8 years down the line. This game obviously is completely redone. I get that. I'm just saying this game going forward. I have a feeling they're going to try to cash it out. This one is literally a completely different game. I don't know. My point is just that $70 price point for me is just so steep, and it's especially for a game. It's like I don't even know if I mean, I've complained about it so many times. I don't even think I'd like it, but I want to try it because, like you've said, it's beautiful. It's really nice. It pushes the hardware. It looks good. You want to try it, but is that really a $70 gamble for me? I don't think so. I took a $70 gamble on Godfall, and I regret that ever since I bought it. That game's a piece of crap. So it's
someone who
doesn't make me want to do it again.
Someone who has clearly, if you look behind me, and for the people listening, there's a giant wall of Nintendo games behind me. There's there's Sony and Xbox games in there too, but they're off screen. Someone who has bought into like the Nintendo verse and their games and how their games never drop in price and then they re-release them at an even higher price. Welcome to gaming in 2021. That's just how it works. It's going to cost more.
Yeah, but it's weird. Not everything is costing more. Like that's what I'm saying. Is if everything?
We're in the transition phase. It will get to that point. Like right now, some companies are being nice and being like, "Oh no, it's fine. It's only like $10 more, or it's not an upgrade." And then, down the road, it's going to be like, sorry, everything's $70." Like,
so let's do this. Let's do an a live experiment. So let's look at some games that you can pre-order in Best Buy, at least in the U.S. Oops, I'm trying to look up Ratchet and Clank.
I have one that I want you to look at.
What's that?
I don't actually know I want you to look at one in particular that I think is going to upset people for the price point.
Okay, so I looked up Ratchet and Clank, the new one coming out. That one is marked for 70. And then what's the one you're looking for?
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
I don't think that one's listed.
It is
yet.
a port of a remake. What are they charging for this thing?
It's not listed yet.
Oh well. Square Enix game. It will be expensive.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me just look at PS5. Let me type it in and see what it comes back as. So PS5 games for pre-order. Wow, they're really pushing. The first thing that comes up is Cyberpunk. Like that's not even a real PS5 game, guys.
Not yet.
Resident Evil: The Village is
or 70
sold out. Let's see.
Oh damn.
Hang on. That's a bundle with the PS5 and it's sold out.
I was gonna say, how are the pre-orders for that game sold out?
Resident Evil 7, The Village on PS4. I see that. Is it not coming on PS5? Oh, yeah, it is. It's $60.
It's
so that's the regular price for that one.
Interesting.
That one, because that one's comes out in May. Oh, I do want to play that game.
Is the PS4 version 60 or the PS5 version 60?
Both. All four. So there's an Xbox Series X release, Xbox One release, PS4 release, and PS5 release. All are $59.99, which is standard price here.
Probably because they're backwards for Xbox for PS4. Because they're not platform exclusive.
Let's see.
That's what I mean by like we're in a transition period, right?
Yeah.
So as games are like, if a game is coming out on both PS4 and PS5, I feel like they should be the same price because
Yeah.
you might be getting a worse experience because they had to hold it back to put it on the
Exactly.
last gen systems.
I guess
Something
that's fair.
is next gen only, and I'm not happy that they're more
but it
expensive,
makes
but
sense.
I feel like they will be.
Yeah, Deathloop is listed for $59.99 for pre-order, and you get a $10 certificate from Best Buy, so that's actually a pretty good deal. Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to revisit this topic
Does
again.
not interest me at all.
I think that game looks pretty fun. We'll have to revisit this
Anyway,
whole
style over substance.
this whole pricing thing with this later to see, like you said, if maybe as we get further away from the last gen, if things start to go that way, because like it seems to be all over the place right now. There's not like a Dragon on PS5 is the release for that is $60. It just came out on PS5, I believe, on a couple days ago. Returnal's listed for $70. That's another $70 title. But is that game worth $70?
But it's an exclusive.
Right.
Again.
But is it worth that extra money? Like, as a guy who loves games and gets a lot right away, I don't even think that's a game I would get right away. I'd have to wait. It really does slow down the amount of games we can get.
Returnal screams to me of a PS Plus game.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's something about it. I'm like, the game is gonna be free one day.
All right, put it in this way. Okay, like Watch Dogs Legions. This is listed on here for PS5 release. If this game is $80 Canadian, do you guys go pick that up? It just seems like a lot of money now, doesn't it?
No.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be coming out as. Let's see what else is listed for that. I mean, Outriders. Oh, that's coming out as $60. Okay, that's not a good. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Would you pay $80 for that Canadian? That's a game I really want to play, but even at $70, that's a lot of money here.
That's a good question.
Like that deterrence is pretty bad because I know it's gonna drop in price.
I think we have to like wait and.
What's that?
You just have to wait and see how the quality of these games are when they come out.
Yeah.
And if they match that,
but do you really think the new Ratchet and Clank game is going to be much different than the ones that came out prior? I don't think it's going to be like an extra 10 hours of content versus most of the other. I mean, they're all roughly maybe 12, 15-hour games. I can't imagine it being that much more content. The quality of what it is graphically and stuff, I can see why they're doing it, but
is that not alone already?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you guys.
Worth it for it to be more?
Do you guys think it is? Would you pay that?
That's what I'm saying. We have to wait to actually see
what you got to do.
If it's good enough to be worth
what you got to do. Wait for Link Cable Gaming's review of the game to come out.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the review comes out, run over to our website, look at the review, and be like, all right, they like the game. I'm gonna go buy it. And
that's the one I'm gonna get.
No, they hated it. I'm not gonna buy it.
I still see Godfall.
That is how this works.
Godfall Ascension is still, it goes on sale pretty often here, but it's still listed for the $70 price point. That game is definitely not worth it. Ugh. There's a lot of stuff they've got listed, though, for stuff coming out on PS5. I'm a little more surprised than what I thought. That Christ Tales?
Oh, Christ Tales.
That's the game I remember you really liked. That's coming out, and that's for $40. I don't know. Some
Makes sense.
interesting
That's
things.
an indie game.
Oh, well, we'll come back to this. We'll do this in another 3 months and see where pricing of it is. Very interested about it, but it is
with more releases.
Yeah, it's just hard to, as a consumer, not thinking about anything else is, and the majority of consumers are not the three of us. I mean, we're the minority of everybody. The majority of people are not people that are knowing most about games, is they buy a couple games a year, and is that going to turn people off from buying a game? And I have a feeling that if they're already buying only 3 games a year and maybe one extra one, is that really going to push them away from wanting to buy something else? So I don't know. It's tough. I can see.
Revisit it.
I can see why, but man, it is going to be tough to swallow. Especially, my game buying is going to slow down if we're adding $10 onto every purchase, plus tax here. I mean, that's another big chunk of it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
All right, Zahi, did you have anything else played? You said you went through Demon Souls, Outriders. We're going to talk about. No.
That's about it.
All right.
That's about it.
Then I'll go next because I usually just never put myself until the end, but. We'll let Alex headline tonight. So I played a little more Persona 5. That's kind of my filler game as I'm between everything. It's just like my 2-second Persona talk every week. Is I played it. I'm still going. I'm going to be doing it until like the end of the year. So nothing new there. Still fun. I did start. I think last week I might have mentioned I started Hitman 1, which is our what month are we in? March.
Game of the month.
Game of the month game. So I know a few of us are going through that and playing it. I'm playing it in Hitman 3, and then I imported the levels from the first game because I had it on PS Plus. So that's been pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm
To
really
be clear, this is Hitman.
go for it.
Or to be clear, this is not the first Hitman 1. This is the second Hitman.
Yeah, this is Hitman 1 2016.
Yeah. 2016.
yeah.
2016.
Okay,
Yep. So
Okay, you have to answer something for me really, really, really quickly with Hitman. I downloaded it, but I'm not sure which levels I downloaded. Like, it was giving me an option to download like 7 different levels.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Or like chapters.
It's very confusing.
So I downloaded like the unnumbered ones and like 2.
So what you should be
So I
playing.
didn't know where it wanted me to start because it didn't say 1.
I did the same thing because I was confused because, like I said, I bought. I don't know if you remember that guide that I sent you on how to get the levels in Hitman 3 and stuff. It was like very confusing. So for me, I had Hitman 3, put the disc in for 3. I had to have Hitman 1 installed. I had to open Hitman 1 on my PS5, which is a PS4 game. I had to purchase a free like upgrade pack to like this Ultimate Edition or something. Then I had to go back to Hitman 3 and buy something else or something, and then it would import the levels. So then when I had that, it just gave me a ton of levels, and it was confusing me, just like it sounds like where you're at, and you don't know what to play. But I did notice it is sorted by, instead of just going to levels, if I go to campaign, it does sort them by Hitman 1, Hitman 2, and Hitman 3. But then I went online and looked at a guide for the game and just showed me level by level for Hitman 1, the 2016 one. So I've been following that. So the first level you should play is the prologue, which is like your training mission.
Okay.
And then the second level, which is like the first main level, is Paris. So if you get to Paris,
Thank you.
you're in the right
there
spot.
we go.
And that's what I think you're looking for.
Okay, yeah. I was looking for, because it didn't say prologue or chapter 1.
Yeah,
it just
it's
said
kinda
Hitman
odd.
Paris. I was
It's
like,
confusing.
what? What is this? What is this asking me?
So
yeah.
that will be very interesting to see. This game is so varied between all of us, between how we all got it, how we're playing it, if we're importing levels, if we're not, and then how we're actually playing the game, because the amount of like variables is like insane. So I'm very excited for that discussion. So yeah, Hitman is a very interesting game. Then
I'm gonna play it.
What's that?
I'm gonna play it.
Nice. I think I mentioned last week that I've been going to this used game store. There's a couple of them by my house that I keep like just going to buy random things. So I picked up a few. I went through all the guides I bought last week. I don't know if Alex, you had a chance to see my show and tell I did of all these.
It was a collection.
Very
guidebooks.
jealous. I'm just like sitting here just seething. I'm like, everything's closed here.
Sucks. Yeah, I got
Go anywhere.
the one I have sitting by me still because this is the game I'm playing. I have the hardcover for Assassin's Creed Unity, and this thing is so nice. I got it for $5, and it's like brand new. The maps are all in it and stuff. So I literally today I'm just like sitting here, like I had the TV on. I'm just like going through it. And it's just, I don't know. I'm not gonna go through that again. I'm sure everyone's tired of that. But another game I bought through this collection, I ended up buying Risen 1 on the Xbox 360, and I've always wanted to play Risen because it's something about it had just, I don't know if it's the artwork or I don't know, something about it just kind of grabbed me, and I want to play this series pretty bad because I've heard it had a pretty cool story if you can get past some of the jank. Well, I own it on computer, and I was all like, it's probably the best place to play it. It'll probably be, run a little better, blah, blah, blah. Well, it doesn't have controller support because it's old. And that, to me, is a huge turnoff because I don't want to play a third-person game with a mouse and keyboard, especially now when I'm used to. So I got it on 360, put it in, and it is definitely janky. I played about maybe 20 minutes, and I couldn't do it. I'm not sure if it was just me not knowing what was going on, but you literally start the game on a beach. You're shipwrecked or something, and you have no weapons, you have nothing going on, and all of a sudden I just keep dying. Random boars were coming at me, and animals and shit, and that was it. I ran. I just kept running, and then I would die further down. I had no idea what was going on. So I don't know if that's a game for me. I also have Risen 2 and 3, so maybe I should skip the first one and maybe watch a couple videos online about what happens or something, but I don't know. It's a little rough. And then finally, I had my buddy, who's not a huge gamer, he's getting into gaming a little bit. He has an Xbox One S, and he does play. He plays a lot of Forza, and he's played some other stuff. So it's not like he's never played games before, but doesn't spend too much time right now. But I had him over, and he wanted to see Forza with the steering wheel I have, because I have the, bless you, he's sneezing. I have the steering wheel and the shifter and
Not
all
the
that, and the
mute button
pedals.
though on time.
Oh yeah, so no one else will know except for the ones watching the video. So
Now everyone knows. I'm so embarrassed.
we played probably 2 hours of Forza Horizon 4 with the steering wheel and having the setup. And man, that game really is fun when you're like actually driving with it. And finally starting to learn the menus and understanding how to buy cars. And there's auctions that people are selling off mods and cars that they've created. That was a lot of fun. I had a Ford Raptor I was driving around in, and then I had a Volkswagen Golf, and then a Dodge Charger, which is like one of the cars I've always wanted. I don't know why.
Cool.
So I had an all-wheel drive Charger. It was black on black on black. So sexy of a car, just driving around through Europe like an idiot. So that was fun. Then I tried to... It's the last game. I know I go on and on and on. But I was trying to find a game for him that he would like to play outside of driving games. And I was like, well, do you like first-person shooters? Do you like this or that? He's like, I'm not a big fantasy guy. I don't like magic. I really like stuff grounded in reality, like war movies and war games. Like, that's kind of my interest. So I was like, okay. So he said he's played Battlefield and some Call of Duties. And I'm trying to, like, looking through all the games on my shelf. I'm like, what's something a little bit different that pushes the envelope of, like, that it's kind of grounded in reality, but has, like, maybe a little bit further far-fetched. So we came across Metal Gear Solid 5. And I was like, I think this might be a game that you might enjoy. It's got a little bit of stealth. It's got, exploration. It's a big game. I think you'd find it pretty fun. So at 2 a.m, him and I in the basement, we started that game, and he played through the whole hospital prologue, if you guys have played through this. And it's a pretty lengthy beginning of a game. And I think he liked it.
It's a really lengthy beginning.
Yeah, it was pretty trippy, especially for a guy who doesn't know much about Metal Gear Solid. And even me, who kind of knows a little bit about it, still doesn't really completely make sense, but I just go with it. So I let him borrow it, and he logged into his Xbox account, so he saved it to the cloud. So I'm curious to see if he's able to play anymore and if he liked it, because I know the game really opens up after that point, because now it's like open world, and there's like a ton of stuff to do. So I will report back and see if I was able to turn my friend into a bigger gamer. But that was most of what I played this week. What's that?
Really cool to get someone started on a series like Metal Gear Solid, because it's like it's such a legendary series, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like getting like we were talking. You've never played Legend of Zelda. It's like, where do you start? And Metal Gear Solid 5, I think, is actually a good place to start. The story makes no sense. Story makes no sense no matter where you start, so just might as well start with the best one.
Yeah, I actually wanted him to.
Metal Gear Solid game.
I wanted him. I have like what's the Ground Zero game where it's like an hour and a half or something. The one that came out right before that.
Yeah.
I wanted him to play that first, because that was like one of the first like real Metal Gear Solid experiences I had, even though I had 4 and I never touched it. But I have that on PS4, and he only has an Xbox, and I wanted him to borrow it. So I was like, all right, well, you'll just start at 5, screw this. So you
Guns
like
of
4?
The Patriots was so good.
I literally kept showing.
It was.
I have the guide to that book. It's like brand new, because I played the first like half hour of the game and I couldn't do it. I was like, this is terrible. I hated
I'll
it
tell
so
you
much.
something. I have a really good memory with Metal Gear Solid 4. It was I went to like a French summer camp, and the only thing in like grade 11, and the only thing we were allowed to play was this like one raggedy PS3, but it was like a summer camp for the entire summer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the only thing we managed to pitch in, we were like in high school, was to get Metal Gear Solid 4 when it just released. So we were speaking French to each other, like French camp, but the whole time we were always playing Metal Gear Solid. Oh man, it was grade 11, 12, yeah.
I've never heard of
and
something
the
like
whole
that.
time. Yeah,
Must be
it's
a Canadian
cool.
thing.
It was like a summer program, and we played nothing but Metal Gear Solid 4, like start to finish.
Nice.
It
That's
was
cool.
Really too bad
fantastic.
that game is still. Really too bad that game is still stuck on PS3 Island.
Right?
It feels like it should come. It should have been brought forward at some point.
It's so
Metal
sad
Gear
that
Solid 4 is a
like that's where
banger, man.
I feel the same way. Like it's not. I hated it because I don't think I gave it a fair chance, and I think it is a game maybe I would try again if it was able to be played. But like Sony is so bad at the backwards compatibility thing, where Microsoft is just killing it. Like,
Oh
there's
God, it's
there
oh my God,
like
awful.
well, Microsoft's got a
Awful,
handful of
Kevin.
games that I'm finding that are not backwards compatible. Like Risen was not. I had to play that on 360, which was kind of depressing. And like a handful of other games that I do want to play that I cannot play either. But they either have like a definitive edition you can purchase, Game of the Year edition or something. Like I finished Batman Arkham Asylum I mentioned last week, and I had to play it on my 360 because it's not
Nice.
backwards compatible on Xbox One because you have to buy the Game of the Year edition and all this. So I'm not like I already own this, so I'm just gonna play it on what I have.
Right.
But Sony doesn't have like there's nothing. You can't play PS3 games on your
Anything
PS5.
like that.
That's it. It's like I hope you got your PS3 still because
Yeah.
that's the only place you're playing this on, and it really does shut out a ton of good experiences that the PS3 had. It's pretty sad. So, all right, Alex, it's up to you. What did you play last, or what did you? Dang it, you're going last. What did you play? That did not come out right.
It was a very light week, so I won't take up too much time to go over because it was a light week for me. But two things I've played. So I've been playing Battalion Wars on GameCube. I think I mentioned it last time.
What?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it last time I was on the show. I played this game.
Amazing.
It's a really fun game, but like I've played it back when I was a kid. And on my save file from back then, I have S ranks on every level. I had like 100% completed save file, and I was like, "Oh, look at me go! Look how good I am!" I'm like, I'm gonna do that again. It's the game that's reminding me of the cruel progress of time, how I'm like maybe my reactions aren't as fast, and like I'm not as dexterous with a controller anymore because I just can't get to S rank level anymore, and I'm like, oh no, I'm becoming an old man. Is basically what Battalion Wars is teaching me. It's a really cool game. I really like. Have you guys played it or know much about it? It's fairly niche, I guess.
No,
Yeah,
I've never actually gotten a chance to play it. Never had a GameCube.
I've never actually played it either, but I know about it. I knew people played it, but no, I've not actually played it.
But it's Hook. It's Hook for the folks who don't know is. It's an RTS, like a real-time strategy game. So like you can move units around and stuff like that on a big battlefield, but you can jump in at any time and control any unit. So like if you're saying, all right, I need my helicopters to attack over there, you can send them and they'll do it. And you're like, oh, I'd rather do that myself. Switch over and boom, you're in the helicopter and you're doing the shooting. And you're like, oh no, my infantry's under attack. Boom, you switch back to the infantry, and you're the guy with the machine gun. Like, oh, now I need some tank support. Boom, you switch over. You're playing the tank, or you're just
Get to the chopper.
or you're just commanding your tanks to go do something. So you can. It's really like it was a really forward-thinking game. It doesn't. It's one of those games. It's like it's really held back by the GameCube controller. Like you're basically like cycling through units with the C stick, which is not a really great way to do things. So, but yeah, I've been playing that, and I'm just kind of being constantly reminded that I'm old and not as good as games anymore. So, Battalion Wars. It's a fun little game. I'm playing that, and then so I got to play the new Smash Brothers DLC. Which, you guys know I'm a big Smash Brothers fan. But what else am I a fan of? Pass the room.
I know what it is, but I can't think of the damn name, actually. The X game.
Oh, well.
Xenoblade, that's what it's called.
Xenoblade
I'm like, wait,
Chronicles.
I know what it is. It's a trick question.
Ooh.
Yay,
so
Xenoblade.
tried the DLC actually on live stream yesterday. So I got to play for about an hour as Pyra and Mithra. And they're really cool characters. Like, not just like their designs or whatever, but like the way they play. Pyra is really like, she's a tank. Like, she hits like a truck. She can KO people at like 50 damage, no problem. But she's incredibly slow. And Mithra, her attacks barely do any damage, but she's incredibly fast. So you're always trying to think of like strategies almost. Like you're looking at the state of the battle. Like, okay, so guy I'm playing against, he's at like 30 damage. I got to stick with Mithra and get that number up before I switch to Pyra and try to get like a solid hit in to knock them out. Or you can start with Pyra and go all out because Mithra has better has better edge game. She can keep people from coming back to the stage pretty easily. So like you're always like kind of cycling like what should I do in this situation, which is really cool. Like it's not just don't just have your bag of tricks. You're like you have options, and it really playing as them really reminds me of playing as Sheik and Zelda back on Melee, like on the GameCube.
Exactly.
Where like you could switch back and forth. Zelda was more of a tanky, like a kind of a glass cannon type, and Sheik was just a lot of damage, but like over like small increments.
Killing power.
Yeah, like just small incremental damage. What's really cool, and like I said it on stream yesterday, like especially in Brawl, like the transformations were so slow, like for Pokemon Trainer and Zelda.
It was
there was
awful.
almost never any point in doing it because you were almost guaranteed to get KO'd if you tried. This transformation, like switching between Pyra and Mithra, is like a few frames. It's instant, and you're right into the next character. So yeah, I had tons of fun for that. My buddy Nilo hopped on, and it was super fun to play with him for a bit. So thanks for that, buddy. And yeah, no, like they're really fun characters. I don't know if they're like the main discussion yet because I have really like I like to think that they have good strengths, but their weaknesses are really pronounced. So it's like we'll see how it kind of plays out. But yeah, they're really cool, and like I'm still so happy that like I really hope everyone
They exist.
I really hope everyone gets to feel this feeling of having your favorite like characters you really want added to a game you really like. Because it's honestly great. I understand why everyone wants like Sora or Crash in Smash Brothers now. I'm like, oh, this is why. Okay, I get it now. So, yeah, it was.
That brings it to what? 2 more characters remaining to be added.
Yeah, they got 2 more.
Two more. Do you think they're gonna do another season pass thing or season of characters?
I do. I honestly do. Thing that kind of convinced me. I wouldn't have said so maybe a few weeks ago. Thing that convinced me is Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 is a 2022 release, and it's on the Switch. It's you got Switch Lite, you got regular Switch. It'll be on there. And even if there's like a Switch Pro, I'm thinking like the idea of a Switch Pro is more like kind of a new 3DS. It's like shares games, but it plays them better.
Yeah.
And it takes them about a year and a few months to get Smash DLC, like a season done. And I'm like, why would they stop? Why would they, like, especially if they want to sell a new Switch model, have Smash be still like super relevant? Why would they stop?
I mean,
I do think they're going to do another season of it.
It still gets hype, and I still think people really like it. So I mean, I guess it comes down to are they making money on it or not? I have a feeling they are.
Oh, I think they're making a lot of money. Holy crap!
But like the one thing to consider with that it's kind of like a little scary, but like be aware is if they do a 3rd season of DLC, all the DLC for Smash Brothers will cost more than the game.
Yeah,
they're like $25 a pop, right?
Yeah, so, it's a little bit more palatable over time, though. I feel like it's not so. I mean, I bought them every time, and it seems like it is a little bit smaller chunks. It's not like a big chunk right up front. Like it is hard, but it's also quite desirable for me to want to get it and everybody else. So it's not like I'm buying something I don't want. Like a new character is a big deal. It's not like it's just like background music or something you can purchase. Like you get some good stuff with it. Right. So I think it's worth it. Especially a game like that. Like I don't mind supporting
really great job.
Because I already know I like the game. It's just more content. So I think that's pretty
They've done a really great job of every DLC character in Smash Ultimate is unique. Like there's no clones among them. Like Smash 4 had this problem where a couple of the DLC characters like Roy, it was like, oh great, I got Roy. Or Lucas, it was like, yeah, it's a NES clone. But Smash 4 Smash Ultimate, every DLC character is completely unique. So like you're not like gonna like even Byleth and everyone's like, oh, another Fire Emblem character. Byleth is completely different than every other Fire Emblem character in the game. Like it's get something you can't get anywhere else, which I think gives value to that DLC. So
it has that uniqueness.
Yeah. So that's been my week. Battalion Wars making me sad, and Smash Brothers with Pyra and Mithra making me happy. That's my week.
Ups and downs for you, I see there.
Yeah. Peaks and valleys.
All right, so I think we kind of alluded to the discussion we want to have about Outriders a little bit. So I got 2 news stories which are I kind of digged for because there's not a whole lot of news this week since I think everybody blew all the excitement last week. But there are two things I saw that caught my eye, and one of them is it's not a new news story. It's not a no news story, but it's not an exciting news story. It's just a yeah, I saw this coming type of deal. So this is from the Verge article reading on that Valve has ended development on Artifact. That's it. A game that I don't think anybody played. I think I played it once, maybe twice, and that was it. It wasn't anything. And at first when I read this, I had to make sure it wasn't because I did play the one from Riot, that card game. I played that one for a little bit longer, and I thought that was this one because I totally forgot this one even existed. This one looks like it came out originally in 2018, and it says it's designed by the Magic the Gathering creator Richard Garfield. Despite good initial sales during the time when Blizzard's Hearthstone was at peak, Valve said the player count fell off pretty dramatically. So it's pretty bad. It says it's burdened by its marketplace and the way you would purchase cards. Which I don't even know anything about it because I didn't get that far. It was not... And it's right, 2018, Hearthstone was just killing it. It's still doing pretty good. It's still making money. It's
even Gwent was doing work.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's
even
hard.
Magic was doing work back then.
Yeah. Excuse me. So there's
here's my take.
Okay.
You know that meme? You know that meme where guy is like, "Oh no." Well, anyway.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this. I mean, if you were a player who was really invested in it, I'm sorry, that sucks. I feel like Zai said, and like you alluded to, Kevin, it's never caught on. It was a digital card game idea. It's like lightning in a bottle. You got to strike at the right time. Hearthstone did it. Gwent, I feel like Gwent rose and fell and is now like it has a solid player base, but it's not blowing up anytime soon. MTG Arena is still in beta technically, so like who knows how that's going.
Yeah.
But like with this one, it's like just kind of like claim to fame was that it was a Dota. It was set in the Dota universe.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure Dota players
only play Dota.
are interested in that, but they spend a lot of time playing Dota. Like they're not really
anybody that I know that plays
this.
Dota only plays Dota. They don't play anything else. And this is the same with my League friends. They play only League. That's the only game they play. And these people are not looking to play card games. Whereas I feel like people that play WoW, I know people that play WoW, but they also play Overwatch. And they also play other Blizzard games. For when Hearthstone comes out, they were willing to go into it. I feel like I don't know. It's a weird thing. They did note here that Artifact is one of Valve's only new titles in the past half decade, along with Half-Life Alyx and Dota Underlords. So, yeah, they're not really releasing a whole lot. And Half-Life Alyx obviously was a great success, gaming and not just on VR. But, yeah. So, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Say basically goodbye. They're not doing anything else for this game.
They did say they're not shutting it down.
They're ending development, but it's
just not.
But let's be real. Yeah. That just means nothing's coming to it, and everyone's gonna stop playing it, and
eventually,
they made
be shut down.
And they made it free to play. I think.
Yes, they did.
Because there was a $20. I think it was $20, but it was like a $20 like startup fee, and then you could play.
Yeah,
well, here's the problem. First, sorry, Zai, go for it.
What card game isn't free? Right? No. It's like what card game isn't free?
So
you're competing at an initial cost value. That's
the very
terrible.
First line of this, the patch notes, it just says, patch notes 3/4/2021. All players now have access to all cards without the need to collect them. So, yeah, they're not even gonna make money on this. They just gave up. Matchmaking parameters have been tightened. Fixed biz timer. Basically, good luck. Have fun. We'll see you never. So. Anyways, okay, moving on from that. That wasn't even that exciting. A game that none of us really talk about and doesn't... It's just... We gave it its 2 seconds of glory. It needed to say goodbye. Rip. Okay.
We talked more about Artifact than anyone else ever has.
Yeah, basically.
On this podcast.
This is a little...
You're basically the Artifact podcast now.
This is a little exciting. Well, so I'm on for this next one. It's on Polygon, and it's telling me the price has dropped for the remake of 13 and my ad on the side. I can buy it new for $50 or used for $20, and that game is not worth a nickel. So we're gonna come back to the article now. Okay, The article states Marvel's Avengers XP grind is about to get even slower. Oh yeah, that's the good version he's holding, not what I played. As we talked about Zahi matching the top-rated article, I think, a review for a game, I think I'm one of the lowest we've ever had with this stupid remake that was trash. Okay, back to
Avengers remake. Or not remake. Oh, the 13 remake, sorry. We're getting confused.
Yeah. Okay, back to Avengers. Marvel's Avengers XP grind is about to get even slower for some. So with all this stuff, I know Square and Crystal Dynamics has been struggling to try to make this game relevant and popular because it has not been the biggest success financially and what's the other word? Critically, no, fun. I don't even know the right word. It's not that great of a game from what I hear, and I'm kind of waiting. I have it. I played a little bit.
That's the right word. It sucks.
I don't think it sucks. I played a little bit of it, and I had an okay time. But I stopped playing when I heard that there's going to be a next-gen version of it. So I'm like, yep, I'm going to put this in the pile of games that are going to have the update for free later. I'll come back to you. Which March 18th will be that date, which happens to be the same time they're going to put in some changes to the game to make the requirement for XP to level your characters a little slower. Apparently there's already pacing issues in the game that people are complaining they level up too quickly. And I think that also has to do with that there's not that many characters in the game. So I think they're just trying to slow people down because they're going to get to the end of the line too quickly, and then they're going to complain there's not enough content, and they're very slow to put characters out. They've released one character so far. They released...
Hawkeye?
Nope, Hawkeye's not out until... let me double check. Marvel's Avengers... Hawkeye DLC. The Kate Bishop is who they have released so far.
Kate Bishop, thank you.
Yep,
thank you.
Kate Bishop is who's out. Hawkeye comes out on the same day as the upgrade, so March 18th. Which is weird, they put two people that are kind of similar back to back. Let's put some archers in there that are both pretty similar, and that's
it's
not...
It's almost like they needed to save some development time, and they were like, well, if we do this work for one character, we'll save doing it for the next one.
It just seems a little sketch.
Sucks.
Especially because like the game's been out for quite a while now. They've only released the one. Hawkeye's coming the same day they make these changes and the next-gen version of it. But Spider-Man is supposed to be one of the characters they told you if you bought the Sony version of this game on PS4 or PS5, you get Spider-Man for free. And we don't have a release date for him yet. We're supposed to be getting, quite a few new characters. Like Black Panther was, I don't know if it was officially announced or teased. There was another one.
This game should have been something like City of Heroes. And you can create your own superhero as a Marvel's Avenger.
No, but they wouldn't let you do that.
With them,
tight grip on everything. I wish.
With them limiting this game by having you play as the actual Avengers themselves, it's makes it so hard to develop new and unique characters all the time. It's like Apex. Every season they have to come out with a new character almost. This is not a game that's meant for that.
I'm still just shocked.
Or they're not meeting it.
I'm still shocked that they went the looter type game for this.
Shooter. Yeah, this is not
I thought this was going to be...
It's not good for Destiny.
I thought it was going to be when it was before it came out and all the trailers and stuff. I thought it was oh, they're making a story-based Marvel game.
That's exactly.
I mean, it is. The main story is like that. It's got a full campaign that has a story, and the campaign is good. It is good. I played about
the campaign
2
is
hours.
Actually good.
Yeah, I played about 2 hours of it, and I've really enjoyed it. I only stopped playing because I knew the next gen update was coming because they announced it. Not because it was I got bored and stopped. It was basically because I was like, well, it'll look better soon. I'm just gonna wait. The multiplayer stuff though is exactly what you're saying, Alex. It is the looter shooter type stuff where it's you kill enemies, get stuff, and move on. But
it's like Destiny.
Kind of, but it's a little less exciting than Destiny or Borderlands or anything like that because you put the stuff on, you don't see it. So the cosmetics or what you look like, the stuff you collect is just stats. So it's in Destiny and Warcraft and all these games, Borderlands, you're collecting stuff because your guy actually looks differently. And you get to pick different guns and different armor and color it, and the customization is fun. In this, you collect stuff that, it's like most of the other games it's like Ultimate Alliance 3. It's you get items and stuff that just upgrade stats and give you a little bit boosts and stuff here, which In a game like that, it doesn't really matter that much because you're not really worried about your cosmetics of the character because you're so far away. Whereas this is your guy's going to look exactly the same no matter what you equipped on him, unless you go and purchase the cosmetic stuff, which is very expensive, and you can get these like basically approved by Marvel outfits that this character can wear. And that's a lot of the microtransactions they can make money on, along with character purchasing. So I don't know. It's a weird game
environment.
I don't know. It's all weird. I want to play the campaign, and I'll probably never play it again. So I'll just leave it at that. I did want to. Oh, go on.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. I have the list of the DLC characters that are announced. I'll just read really quickly. None of these are confirmed formally, so it'll take a pinch of salt. But some of them had been confirmed. I can't find the official list. Spider-Man's officially confirmed, and Clint Barton, who's Hawkeye, and Kate Bishop, who came out. But the Black Panther, I think it might be newer than this article, has officially been out. Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Falcon, Hulkbuster, Mockingbird, Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk, Vision, War Machine. So there's some cool things coming.
There is no way.
But I don't know how they're going to get those out there.
No way.
It's going to cost money to do all this, and I just don't see...
Make all of this.
I wish they would, because
Alex,
adding a lot of characters
do you
would make
honestly
it fun,
think they will? Do you honestly think they're going to come out with all those Marvel characters, each to save this like failing already Marvel game?
Honestly, though, it's list you listed off, and like I know it's a rumor technically, but that list you listed off, I'm going to offend some Marvel fans here, but hear me out. That's a lazy list of characters. A lot of them are like guy in armor. Well, there is already a guy in armor. Hulk type character. Well, there's already a Hulk type character. It's like you're not like we were saying about Smash DLC earlier. It's fun that those characters are all unique and different. This sounds like it's the same archetype of character over and over again. And like I know War Machine is not Iron Man. I know Hulkbuster is not the Hulk. But from a video game perspective, how they play and what their actions will be, they're kind of the same guy. So it's
like shoot,
not very exciting.
Even free games like Warframe give totally unique and different and interesting characters almost every patch or season and more frequency. There's no way they're gonna maintain that level of characters. Game is sinking fast. There is so many holes.
I can't recall a time where I've heard of a game being like, you need to make it more of a grind to play this game. Because it's like, that just means your game is shallow to me. That means like it's a shallow pool of content that you're waiting in, and that they need to stretch that out because everyone's getting to the end game and being like, what now? And they're like, oh, we got nothing for that part. We need to stretch out what's already there. So I don't like any of this, and I was never excited for this game. Kevin, you're the Marvel fan. You got your posters in the background. I've got nothing Marvel here.
I like Marvel, so that's kind of my push to play it. But I also like good games, and outside of the single player mode, which I do think is good, the multiplayer is just not a good game to me. It feels very lazy in general. It just seems like it's like those games that come out and it's like, oh, well, we've added multiplayer, and you play it a couple times because you think it's kind of cool, but then you never play it. It's nothing it doesn't have the replayability like other games that I want to keep going back to. Like Destiny, there's so many things pulling players back in all the time. This game just feels like it's just an added on feature, and it's not like it doesn't feel like they made enough effort to try to make it good, honestly. Like it just seems, the whole thing seems
even Destiny is free to play.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. We'll have to come back and follow this up and see when this game gets when do they draw the line and say we've already spent too much money and we're not making
This is gonna be an Anthem.
Yeah.
Just even worse.
It could be.
I don't know worse, but
I'll give them.
I just want to see Scarlet Witch. That'd be fun.
I think
after watching all of WandaVision,
it'd be really cool.
I think that'd be fun.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. But I'm just saying, after watching it, I want to play as her in the game. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So.
Though, think actually they did a better job than Anthem. Anthem always said they were going to release more warframes, or more javelins
Mm.
into the game post launch, and actually they never did. So Marvel's Avenger actually, with it coming out with 2 characters, it's not nearly as bad as Anthem, and that's a low bar, man. That's a low bar.
Yikes.
A hot take.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad. All right. This now brings us to. I keep trying to find the right
Maverick
number.
Hour.
The fun discussion of the new release that had come out, and it's a demo, so it's not really that exciting. But the game Outriders, the demo was released on, I believe, Epic Game Store. I think that's where it's at on PC, Xbox, and PS4 and 5. You know what? I don't even know.
Yeah,
is this on last gen?
It is. Yeah, it is on last gen, actually.
Oops, I looked up Outriders.
A horrible book.
Yeah.
Where can you get this?
Think so.
I'm trying to see everything. It's
Oh no, Maverick.
so
That's
this,
showing off.
This
yeah, it's
I'm
on
trying to
every
this
show
single
off.
fluffy,
Switch.
fluffy cat.
Oh, it's
Trying to
also
show
on
her off. There's a
Steam.
cat
I
on the
lied.
screen, but
It's on Epic Game
got all
Store,
tangled up.
Steam, Xbox, PS4,
No, come
PS5,
back, Maverick.
and Stadia.
So cute.
Ooh. So, who here has played this game? Let's just start with that. So
I have indeed played the Outriders demo. I
Okay.
played it all the way through, actually.
And Zahi, you played, and Alex, have you had a chance to play this? Zahi, or Alex is gone. Oh, there he is.
no,
No.
it just disappeared.
So
Alex was taking down the cute kitty.
let me go. Let me
Got
set
tangled up in my wires.
Let me set the stage, and then Zahi, I'll have you jump in on it because I played most of the campaign demo part of it. I didn't get into the co-op stuff at the end for multiplayer yet. So I played it on PS5. I downloaded it on there, and for those listening that don't really know what it is, this is another looter shooter type game, done much better than Marvel's Avengers is. This is very reminiscent of Destiny-ish, Borderlands-ish, like anything where you're collecting different things and upgrading and stuff like that. You pick a class. There are 4 different classes. There's a tank, which is one class. Then there's like a standard shooter guy, which I think was the one guy I'm missing. Then there was a magic type one, which used a lot of fire abilities and
Pyromancer.
Yep, Pyromancer. That's the one I picked. And then like a sniper type guy. And they all kind of use magic a little differently, or some type of powers of some sort, right? The actual gameplay of everything kind of plays a lot like Division or Gears of War. It's a lot of duck and cover, shoot, duck and cover, run, duck and cover, shoot, etc. My initial first thoughts playing through parts of the demo was I actually really liked the game. It is a little more difficult than what I thought it would be. These guys kind of packed a pretty big punch fighting you, at least in like the single player stuff. But I did enjoy it. Yeah, so okay, let me hand it off to you, Zahi. What do you maybe backtrack what I said? Tell me what class you played as and what you thought of it. Initial impressions.
Okay. So there is a lot of talk about there being a lot of cutscenes in the beginning of the game, and holy crap, there's so many, and they're so obtrusive, and it goes from really like I think the cutscenes were 30 frames per second, and then the gameplay became 60 frames, and it's so jarring when it kept on doing that because it would go like
jarring.
really, really, really bad, bad animation, and then like fluidity, and there's a lot of like graphical issues with the game itself. So it's made by People Can't Fly, or I was just trying to remember them. People Can't Fly Studios, and they worked on a lot of games like Gears of War, Bulletstorm. So a lot of the game is kind of duck and cover mechanics. But the interesting thing, Kevin, actually, I found out when I was playing the game, is the game and People Can't Fly actually encourage you not to use cover so much. And the game makes it actually kind of like you're a weakling if you use cover. Because enemies enemies punish you hard if you use cover.
Yeah, maybe that's why I was struggling, because I playing as the the elemental guy and I was a little bit squishy, I could tell, and I was dying a lot. And my buddy and I were both kind of switching it back and forth, and we struggled to get through some of the levels.
Yeah. So when I read on that and changed my gameplay to kind of match what they really wanted, I found I was having afterwards a much better time. So the way you like regenerate health is use the 4 characters like kind of abilities. So the pyromancer is like if you kill or if you use your flame abilities on enemies and then kill them, you get your health back. So it's so if you ever played Bloodborne or you understand Bloodborne, whenever you get hit in Bloodborne, if you attack right away, you get your health back. Maybe not all of it, but a good chunk of it. So it's kind of like that. You actually have to be really aggressive in the game to kind of play well. So I found that was really interesting. But visually, I know, like I saw from the trailers that there were going to be a lot of like unique and different locales, but in the game, it was so ugly. It was just drab brown and drab forest green and drab steel concrete jungle. Like it was boring. There was one area that had like nice visuals, but other than that, God, it was just like it had no life to it, even though the game has so much life to it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's something they add on to coming into the real game. Because
the story is great.
Yeah, the story was pretty cool. Like I do agree that there was a lot of cutscenes. I do think they wanted to set the stage and really set what was going on, and I do think it was.
Yeah.
I do think it was necessary for most of it. I do think maybe 15% could have kind of just been sped up or gotten rid of because it was a little bit much. But the story itself is pretty easy to understand. Okay, we're on a planet, we're trying to figure stuff out, and something's gone wrong, and now we've got power. So, I mean, basically, just tell me that, and a lot of people they're not going to care. All they want to do is get to the part where we're playing with your friends and you're collecting stuff and you're getting, upgrading your loot. Like most people just want to get to that. I can't imagine everybody trying to study this and like make it perfect and what's going on. So.
This game is not meant to be something like Destiny 2, where it's meant to be like a live service game that kind of exists. They've announced that it's going to be a fixed game with a fixed endpoint, and it's not meant to continue past that. So it's pretty much all of the PvE. It's pretty much all PvE content, and each instance is kind of locked behind. Like you have a hub world, and then you can go to each mission like via an instance and play those missions with your friends. And they have like an end ceiling cap, but it's not meant to say be a 10-year game lifespan Destiny. I think it's meant to be like a meaty just chunk of experience, and that's kind of it.
I have a feeling though they say that because they've already got plans for the next one to come out right after this one ends, and then they keep going. So it may not be this game lasts and becomes as a service experience, but they still have, I think, plans to make money out of this somehow by just releasing another whole title, which it almost is worse because, Destiny 2, it's been going on. They sell you little chunks of expansions. They're going to just sell you another whole game, but that's just how I think will happen. We'll have to see. Because this game doesn't see the way that they have this. I feel like there's opportunity for microtransactions like crazy. I think there's something.
Seems to me like seems to me like the kind of game, and like I haven't played it, so my opinion is not incredibly valuable here. But it does seem like the kind of game that is built for like the pay, not the pay to win, but like that continuous amount of microtransactions. Like
it's strange, but they said it's not. It's just like you can replay the same campaign missions on like harder difficulties, but they're not planning to do like a live servicey kind of environment with it. So it was like, and it's going to be like mostly PvE. So it's strange because it's not really the way I thought Outriders was going to be was like an open world, but it's not. It's like a hub.
It's like small sections.
From the hub, you go. Yeah.
It kind of feels
but
it kind of reminds you of like
instanced.
Yeah, like Monster Hunter. Like I feel it's
exactly.
It's where it's like you load into like one area. And it's like a free roam this area, but it's not a full blown, you know, how you have a full access of everything there. So
Yeah.
it is a little disappointing that it's not a full open world. It does kind of take away
Yeah.
from it, but I didn't think it was that bad. I think it was still okay. I'm curious to see like
Yeah.
how much they give you, because I didn't even make it to the part where I'm at co-op where I can play with friends yet. So I'm only getting it from the little
Nice.
single player hubs that I was at, and that was a little bit like it was like meh.
And I'm
it
not
was
sure.
okay. That's all I can say.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm just really not sure where to take the game tonally. Like, it's weird, man. I don't know how to describe it. Okay, it goes from like Warhammer 40K, this is the last stand of humanity, and like very grim dark in 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next second, some dude gets a bullet to the brain, and it's like a Wilhelm scream, and the characters just chuckle and laugh.
Yeah, it's
Like-
interesting. It's a very interesting little story and setup of things. So I don't know.
And it went.
Are you planning on
No.
purchasing this?
I don't know. Like, it looks cool. It looks fun. I just.
Because it does
I
come
don't
out,
know
I think,
what-
in April, pretty quick here, and
It does, yeah.
I'm
it's very soon.
thinking of wanting to purchase it because I have some friends that are also going to be purchasing it probably, and I know I'm going to want to play with them. But it comes back to that now we're at $70 again for the purchase of this game, and I'm like, that's a steep price for a game. It's like I kind of like, but I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet.
I didn't really feel like if there were any features that the PS5 offered, because that's where I played it. Because I like trying out these new ones on PS5 just because of the controller and UI integration. It didn't really do anything like unique. It didn't do anything like Dark Souls, where it had brought some things in. Boom, Dark Souls. Demon Souls point.
Yeah, it was. I could tell the triggers had a little bit of the resistance stuff going on for it, so that wasn't bad. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know. Maybe performance. I'd have to see what it looked like on like a PS4. I'm sure it probably didn't look as good. Probably ran at 30 frames and stuff like that. But
I think they just need to find the right tone for the story, fix some of the graphics.
I feel like this is a game
tighten the gameplay.
It's definitely gonna have a lot of changes after the first 6 months. I feel
Yeah.
like it'll be a little bit of a different
100%.
because it may not be a full
100%.
service type game, but it does have that feel, and I feel like they're paying close attention to it, and they definitely want to try to get some money out of
Yeah.
this.
I feel like they actually put in a lot of work into Outriders. Like, I know it sounds weird, but it feels like the game has a lot put into it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it needs some like you said, Kevin, like just some hard mechanical tuning, man.
Yeah, it really fixed that up. Alex, does this interest you at all? Are you touching this game when it comes out? I know you didn't play the demo.
I hate to be a wet blanket and like just kind of like be like no, but no, this doesn't interest me in the least.
Do you think you'll try the demo while it's out before that, or are you not even interested in that?
You can be a cool
Not
class,
even interested in it.
a technomancer, a long-range support with gadgets. The classes are actually kind of fun.
Yeah,
too.
the classes are kind of neat.
That does sound cool. I'll give it that.
The magic stuff is fun.
This is the balancing of
and
play time. Like I'm like, for me, it's like to get into that, and I'm sure it'd be fun in a time sink. But I have a million other time sinks that I'm trying to dig my way out of. So, I really hope you guys have fun, and if you guys can convince me to try it, I will. But I have no plans whatsoever.
Yeah, right now at this point, I don't think it's.
I don't think this
trying.
is a game I would push right now.
No, I wouldn't either.
Like, I think it shows promise, but I don't think I'd push it on someone. I don't think I'd be like, you have got to play Demon Souls. It is like a classic experience on the PlayStation 5 and deserving of the 9.9. Plug, sorry. But I don't think this is a game I'll be like, yeah, man, you need to play the Outriders demo to be like, wow, this is the future of gaming. I don't think it's there yet.
Fair.
I think
the game is just a game, and that's fine. The game comes out, it's good, and that's great. It doesn't have to revolutionize the world.
I could definitely see this coming out and being a bigger game later on. I just don't think it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Right now. I think there's a lot of games that are very similar to it that are kind of doing the same thing, and it's a very like busy market, and I don't know if this one sticks out enough, but we'll see, because it's the magic stuff in the game with the powers does kind of interest me, because I did enjoy having the pyromancer.
There is a lot of depth. Yeah, there's a lot of depth in the actual the actual gameplay. Like not the gameplay, like the skill tree customization. Like you can actually make some surprisingly interesting builds with what they've given you so far. Oh, and last thing, just as a note, so everything you play in the Outriders demo right now, you can actually transfer back to the full retail game.
Mhm.
And right now, there's a bit of an exploit going on with like a rare material, so people are farming it like hardcore. Because it's really hard to get in the main game and it's going to be worth a lot. So the devs are actually winding down the drop rate and what you can bring in.
Yeah,
So
because
it's all
the demo, there's no like end to it. You can just keep playing it, keep playing
yeah,
it. So like I do
yeah,
know some friends of mine that have been playing that every time I log on, they're still playing the demo. So it's
yeah.
a little
So
interesting that
it's a
they're
bit
still
of an
going through
exploit
that.
going on. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
well,
that was kind of funny.
we'll put this on the list of things to follow up for because this is definitely a game I think we're gonna have to see after the initial, let's say 3 months, 6 months. What is this game? Is this something's talking about, or is this like
Yeah.
the Way of Battleborn and whatever the other game was we talked about today that died? I don't even remember what it's called. Architect, Artifact. I was like,
I was gonna say,
something. We talked about
We're
10
the
minutes ago.
Artifact podcast. We need to know this. We need to
yeah.
know this.
We talked
Everyone
about it
come to
minutes
our
ago, and I
playground.
already forgot. It's so bad. But all right, guys.
Oh,
I
one last little thing,
yeah.
Kevin.
What's up?
Before next week, there's a new game on Games Pass right now, Elite Dangerous, and there Alex is excited.
Now I'm animated. I love Elite Dangerous.
Okay, so I haven't tried it yet, but I finished downloading it today, and I really like for next week. I'm gonna come back with an Elite Dangerous like geek down. So
Which game is this?
yeah,
Is this
I haven't even started it. I just downloaded it, and I'm too scared to open it.
Elite
I'm
Dangerous?
like,
Ready?
what am I doing?
You are signing up yourself for Space Bureaucracy, the game. So a pilot. You're a pilot on a ship. You're going around the galaxy, and it's like I was watching my buddy play one time, and I was new to it, so I didn't really know what was going on. I'm watching my buddy play, and he gets to a space station. He's like, I gotta go in there and like sell what I just picked up on this planet. I was like, okay. And it was like, oh, my approach wasn't right, and I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, well, like every space station has like a certain lane. If you're going too fast or too slow in it, you get ticketed, and they take some of your earnings away. And I'm like, so this is like Space Bureaucracy, the game. Like it's like you follow the actual rules of.
I know this
travel.
universe.
And
it's
like,
so weird, man. I want to play it.
It's so cool. It's so cool. It's one of those games that it's kind of like we were saying about Dota earlier. It's like, I guess this is what I play.
Yeah,
My life is
God,
really dangerous.
I'm looking it up right now, and
really nervous.
I guess I didn't even realize this game existed because I got that Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen mixed up.
Yeah.
Star Citizen
That's common. They're very similar, but I haven't played either of them, and I've been wanting to play either of them. And this one finally came on Games Pass for the Xbox. So I'm like, I guess we're doing this on console, baby.
Yeah, go for it.
All
yeah.
right, Series X, take me into space.
You should definitely play that and get back to me.
Yeah.
A really cool thing with Elite Dangerous, and this is like any space game should do this. It's such a cool idea. That in real life, as we discover where planets and stars are, they update the game.
They
have it where in the location where it should be. And they're like, oh, like, all right, in real life, the Alpha Centauri system, we know it's a trinary star system, and if you go there in the game, it's a trinary star system with the exact amount of planets we believe are there. Like, it's really cool. And they're
Alex, is it actually a trinary star system?
It is. The Alpha Centauri system has 3 stars. It's Alpha Centauri, Beta Centauri, and Proxima Centauri.
You're so cool.
Wow.
Oh, I'm the best. I am amazing. To everyone listening, I will tell you all about the Alpha Centauri star system, which is the closest star system to our own. It's 4.1 something light years away.
Okay.
I want to go there now in the Elite.
It's probably a death trap, but sure.
Oh, I see that.
Oh, cool.
Well, that was fun. I guess we look forward to space travel talk next week.
Can we?
Yes.
Can we please?
I guess.
Yes, we're having fun. We're having a few minutes of this next week. You, Alex?
Oh, jeez.
Space travel talk.
All right, guys. I think that's it. Unless anybody else has any last words
That's
here.
it for tonight. Nope.
What was this?
You guys
Episode
enjoyed?
36. We're getting there,
36.
guys. We're getting there. 36 just ended.
Yep.
We gotta party or something at
week's gonna
50.
be-
50 will be like a big.
We have to have a party at 63.
At 50, we should bring back every guest host and every person we've ever had on the show and bring it back. That'd be fun. Just like a giant room of people.
Bring it back around.
That'd be huge.
It would be fun.
I'm not gonna share my ideas. Someone will steal them.
Yeah,
but,
don't share it. Don't take it.
I'll take them from my podcast.
Our $1 million ideas.
Yeah, jeez.
I just have fun. I hope people had fun listening.
You want to say these ideas so bad. You're like, no, don't say them out loud.
Oh, 'cause they're great.
Nice. Yeah,
Everyone will steal them.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for listening and watching. However you were, we appreciate
Thanks
you.
so much, everyone.
We will be back next week. Hopefully, there's a little more exciting news going on other than games that were really bad ending. So we will.
But
talk
we
to
made
you
it
then.
exciting.
We did. We tried. Go play Artifact because it's great. Yay! All the cards are free. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week. See ya.
I know.